Hey folks, so welcome to another episode of the Auroville Files. No, this tomato is not from Auroville, actually. Well, today we're going to talk about farming practices of Auroville in the name of self-sustainability and organic farming and other flowery words. For 4 decades, Auroville has not been self-sustaining. Yes, folks, you heard it right. Although their videos and their campaigns talk about such beautiful farming practices and how Auroville is so beautiful and self-sustaining community, the reality is far from it. The mother said that more than economic industries, the first thing that Auroville should do is be self-sustainable. That is, the producers from the farms should go to the community. Auroville has around 3,000. A considerable portion of this is allotted to farmings and farmers. But really, what happens from the producers of these lands? The vegetables that are grown in Auroville are actually sold to markets in Puducherry, and people in the community have to pay for it. In Solar Kitchen, they say that all the organic producers come to the Solar Kitchen and that's how they make their food. And it is supposed to be free for the community, but they charge people a monthly contribution for food. In reality, the producers are sold to outside markets and the farmers have been making the benefits. This not only extends to Auroville lands which are allotted for farming, but also lands which are encroached. This is how they do setting with members in the Auroville Working Committee and FAMC and Farm Service. And they make fringe benefits and also helping the encroacher to enjoy free possession of the encroached land. They say that Auroville lands was barren and we are the people who made it fertile. But please do know that India has a tradition of farming for years and years. And yes, it has been organic farming. So there is nothing special that Aurovillians have actually contributed to these villagers. But actually what they have done is spread false propaganda for donations, get people to volunteer for them so that they have cheap labor. And at the same time, they will charge volunteers and Aurovillians for food and other basic amenities. I just recently heard that some forest in Auroville is actually charging $8 of food per day for volunteers. Then they came up with a system that if you're an Aurovillian or a Friends of Auroville, then you get a discount in all these food stores, Portus, Solar Kitchen, etc. But the actual reality is that the price of the items which are actually sold in these outlets are a little bit higher than the Puducherry market. So even if you get a discount, there is no special concession that you're actually getting. So they mark up the price higher and then they give you a discount so that you're satisfied, and then the price is actually still a little higher than the market. So this is how Auroville farms have been functioning so far. All this has happened in the ecosphere called as self-autonomy and governance. Self-autonomy and governance does not mean that you do not follow any kind of law or administration, but what they actually mean is they have freedom to do whatever they wish. They want to fool the entire planet and they want to unduly enrich themselves. Then the monies that come from such kind of illegal, illicit wealth is invested in properties and other shareholding and other kind of ventures that these corrupt Aurovillians like to embark on. Now, the current Auroville Foundation has gotten into in-depth of every sphere of finances and illicit wealth that they are making, and they are slowly making changes. There is also a special OSD who has been appointed. And I also heard that there is an agricultural consultant who shall come in to analyze the producers of the lands. Timber felling is again a very big, crucial issue in Auroville. So what they do is every year they cut off timber from these lands and they sell it to local sawmills and local furniture makers. This is why you see that in the periphery of Auroville, there'll be a lot of sawmills, furniture makers. Where is the timber come from? You guessed it right. It comes from Auroville. And it doesn't come from the Auroville administration directly and the money goes to Auroville administration. It comes from the people who are actually stewards of this land or people who are encouraging the land encroachers. So now all this is being looked upon, hopefully, by the current Auroville administration after 4 decades of hoarding ill-gained wealth. So don't get blindly swayed away by talks and videos of these farmers trying to say that they are spiritual and self-sustainable and doing such beautiful work for the community. The reality is that they are only unduly enriching themselves. And if you go blindly following that without any kind of research as to what is really happening, you will just be contributing to this nexus. So folks, stay aware and stay vigilant, and do understand that only through awareness will these kind of practices stop. Our ulterior motive is to ensure that administration is proper, and also the previous past and the ill-gained wealth comes back to the community without them being the beneficiaries. So stay tuned to Auroville Files, and this is VikramRam signing off.